to use your 10th level powers.
Okay, here we are, guys. We are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Live from the Sword Coast podcast. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon master this evening. Tonight, we are continuing on with our ongoing campaign playing Shadow of the Demon Lord, published by Schwab Entertainment and written by the amazingly talented Robert J. Schwab. With me tonight are the two regular fixtures of our Wednesday night games. First up, Jeffrey.
Hey, everybody. Jeff, I'm playing Matt Baker, who is sort of a wizard of time and space, and Trader, who is a shape-changing goblin, raven, ninja.
Yeah, it's a pretty apt descriptor. And Steve-O, why don't you tell us who you are, who you're playing?
Yo, I'm Steve-O, been here forever, and I'm playing three characters. Hobie, a revenant, an undead priest of Revel, a Millar, a changeling technomancer, and then June is a swashbuckling giant robot.
Yes. Okay, so as a refresher, last session is when you guys had finished exploring the Moon Tower, that place in, was it called Carbuncle? Was that the name of the town?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so you travel there, and there was this tower, this white tower that would shimmer and appear the night before the full moon, would remain for the night of the full moon, and then disappear, and then remain for the night after the full moon, and then it would be gone. You guys were sent there to try and elicit any further information about the Fae that you could draw, the either the war that was fought with the trolls millennia ago, or the any indication of why the fairy queen seems to be raiding these old prisons and making off with their prisoners. So before we launch into the actual story, though, the characters, or the party, I should say, because in Shadow of the Demon Lord, there aren't individual levels for each player, or each character rather. There's a party level. And the party reached level 6 last session. So Steve has done his upgrades for Junis, Millar, and Hobie. The only question I had, Steve, was did you add or bump the health up and bump the healing rate up?
No, those statistics I did not bump up yet, but I just put in the powers and yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So we're only level 6.
You're level, yeah, because you guys were level 5 before, and now you're hitting level 6.
Oh, for some reason I thought we were level 7 is what you said.
Oh, no.
So not until 7 is when you pick the master path.
Yeah, that's when you pick, that's right. Next level is when you'll hit the master tier. This will be your last adventure at level, or at the expert tier.
Oh, okay.
Hobie, okay, so Hobie should be level 6 now, which I got him at. And then, what was his...
Here, Junis here.
Well, then that makes this whole conversation much shorter. See, that's why I thought this was like more of a time to talk about this.
Oh,
gotcha.
Okay, yes. So
yeah.
So when you're level 7, then your novice path goes up?
At level 7, no, you'll pick your master path.
Oh, yeah, I mean at level 6.
At level 6, it's your expert path that you get the last ability on. Or not the last, the next ability on.
It's your expert path. Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be Mystic, I believe, and Wizard.
Right.
So here, Steve-O. So a Warden at level 6 gets +4 to health. So Hobie's health is 37.
Nice.
And his healing rate, that means 37 divided by 4, I believe, is a 9. Round down. Nice. So you got a healing rate of 9 now. I'll put his damage down to zilch. And that's it for stats. I think you've already picked your magic, and you've recorded your improved Warden magic, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then for, let's see here, for Junis, his health will go up by 4 as well. So and nice, look at that, 41 health. Sweet.
Nice. Like that.
And his healing rate is now at 10, which is awesome.
Nice.
Okay. It's displaying as a 1 because that's the way this character sheet goes, but just remember there's a 10.
Got it.
You've recorded his maneuvering strike and his tumbling advance.
Yes.
I think, yeah, great. And then for Millar, she's an artificer, not a wizard. Sorry. I'm thinking of different guys.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah. We should definitely confirm. I've taken a look at your spells and stuff, actually, and our stuff complements pretty well, as a matter of fact. So that's cool. But for level 7, sure, I have some ideas. We can talk about that later.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought we were doing for some reason. I was confused. And that's why I thought we had a bunch of decisions to make.
One of the things that you could consider as well, too, is healing stuff, because I think that is one area where you guys are a little short.
I was going to take, Hobie was going to go with a healer for level 7 Master Path.
Oh, nice. Okay.
If that works for you, Jeff.
Yeah, no, that's
that work
cool.
For you, Jeff?
Yeah.
Because he gets some special stuff that he can do with that. So I
think Trader is pretty obviously going to go into martial artist.
Nice.
I think that one easily makes the most sense for him. So, okay, so he's a mystic.
Yeah. Okay, so
a mystic. He gains +4 health.
Yeah, so go ahead and bump his health up by 4, and then divide his current health by 4, rounding down, and then that'll tell you what your healing rate is.
Oh, divide by 4 and round down.
Yeah.
Okay, so it goes up to 7. Okay.
And then a mystic gets
healing trance. You can use an action to enter a healing trance. You remain in the trance for as long as you concentrate. While in the trance, you are defenseless, but you perceive your surroundings as if you were not. If you stay in the trance for 1 hour, you heal damage equal to your healing rate and remove 1 insanity.
That insanity is pretty great.
Once you use this talent, you cannot use it again until you complete a rest. Oh, so once per day, I can remove an insanity, basically.
That's pretty awesome.
That is super awesome.
You also get +4 health for him as well.
Yeah, I did that.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're looking at Trader or you're looking at Matt?
This is still Trader.
Oh, still Trader. Yeah. So +4. And then you get key evasion.
If you are conscious and get a failure on a challenge roll made to resist an attack, you can expend your key and turn the failure into a success.
That's awesome.
Boom.
Okay.
Okay. And then for Matt.
So then Matt is a wizard. I'm using this really awesome wiki that you sent us a link to.
Yeah, it's pretty great, eh?
Yeah, so I like it.
+2 health.
Where do you see wizard?
I'm looking on I'm doing old school.
Oh, you're in the book. Oh, yeah, okay.
+2 health. You discover a new tradition or a new spell. And, we're using the mana rule, so I'll tell you what.
And you're a magician, so you get an extra, or you get both cantrips.
Yeah, if you pick a new tradition, you'll get 2 cantrips instead of 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the cool thing with magician.
You should have that for every school of magic that you're a part of.
It is so far. But
sorry?
Matt got +2 health.
If you just pick a spell from, like, you could pick a 3rd level spell now. So if you pick a 3rd level spell, you don't get like 2 of them. It's only if you learn a new tradition.
Right, but his mana will go up.
His mana will go up. Like when you pick a new, there's 2 ways it goes up. One is through your class ability, and then every time you learn a new spell, your mana pool goes up as well. Let me take a look here.
So I should set everybody to level 6 now, right?
Yes, please.
On the sheet as well, yeah. Okay.
Okay, let me try and find my. There it is. Here it is. Okay. What is your power now? 3?
Yeah, it doesn't say that my power went up.
Steve, we're getting feedback from you again, bud.
Okay.
His power doesn't go up to level 9 from wizard.
Okay, so he's a 3 currently, right?
Yeah.
Sheet. Oh, great. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I'm just gonna flip over to his spell sheet here.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna record. I'll do a quick tally of his spells, and then I'll do the. Okay, so he's got level 0 plus. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 level zeros. Level 1 is...
I love the mix and match paths.
Yeah. 1, 2.
Yeah, Jeff. So, I mean, I was going to go with, I think we got a good balance. Millar is a technomancer / she will be a diviner I was going to go with, which gives us some advantages on rolls and things.
Cool.
Mostly benefits her. And then Junis is going to be an executioner, and with his sort of acrobatic maneuvers, he can run around and really sort of deliver a lot of damage with one blow.
Nice.
He's going to be sort of he can be a good tank actually, and he can dole out a lot of damage. And then Hobie is sort of a priest who can heal people, and then I was going to go with the healer path, and so he can dish out heals, and he's got some spells that'll give bonuses to everybody.
Okay.
So,
I was thinking that martial artist makes the most sense for trader, which would give us sort of another damage dealing character. So between him and Junis, they can sort of be the muscle.
Wow.
Right.
And then
go ahead.
And I was just going to say, with Matt, I just think there's a few good options. Like, there's one called Jack of All Trades, which fits in. Which kind of interesting. It's like
I was looking at that.
Special pool, the special flexible pool that you can sort of do. It
That's
really
cool
fits
one.
sort of the Doctor Who thing, right? Because Doctor Who can do anything, right? If it's chemistry or it doesn't matter what it is, he can still engage in it.
Mm.
Yeah, you could be a skill monkey, right? For sure.
Yeah, but if I wanted to break a little bit with the Doctor Who thing and just give him something that could really help the party, there's also Sharpshooter. Like, he's had this cool gun the whole time, but he's kind of really crappy at shooting it.
Right.
And Sharpshooter would actually help him to maybe hit something once in a while.
Yeah. Yep. Either
like,
way.
it's actually quite good at hitting people.
Yeah, because that's been a bit of not a downside, but he's been missing a lot with his pistols, and those pistols are supposed to be his way of being a combat badass.
Right. Yeah, and so I don't know if that would work, but it's something it's an option.
Sure. And you looked at Gunslinger too, eh?
A little bit. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe he's...
Another option too, guys, remember that you can, as your master path, you can choose another expert path.
Oh, and then the last one that's interesting too is there's a traveler one, which also fits the Doctor Who thing very well. It's all about teleportation.
Right.
So I think they all work well with the rest of the party. I don't think that it's... Maybe the Jack of all trades is the most useful.
It could be. It's up to you, man. Suit yourself, and we'll work around it.
It just means he's still not going to do much combat. But if Junis and Trader are both like good at dealing damage, we might not need another. Might be more reason for Matt to kind of stay back and try to do the smart play instead of the damage dealing play.
I think his spells also afford you a lot of CC.
And Millar, Millar is also going to be able to summon a power suit and 2 large constructs as well.
So I think it's probably better to give us to go with something like Jack of all trades, which is quite interesting, I think.
Okay.
It gives you lots of bonuses.
What do you want to do for your spell pick for level 6?
For right now, so I can pick up to a level what?
You can either pick a level 3 spell, up to a level 3 spell, or you can learn a new tradition, in which case you learn the first two cantrips, the 0 level spells.
Right. And what schools do I have? Teleportation, right?
You have teleportation and time.
Okay,
and so you might have one other. I
think the other one's from my book.
Yeah, from your grimoire.
So there's only one level 3. Oh, no. Oh, there was Fuse, which I took already.
Yep.
And there's Boundless Step.
Is that level 2?
No, that's a level 3.
That's level 3 as well.
Duration 1 minute. On each of your turns for the duration, you can use a triggered action to teleport to an open space you can see within medium range. That is pretty awesome. So I'd be able to just jump around the battlefield and sort of stay out of trouble.
You can also, you haven't taken the level 3 or any of the level 3 time spells as well. And those are accelerate and decelerate. Accelerate for the duration. Target can take both a fast turn and a slow turn each round. And then when the effect ends, it becomes fatigued for 1d6 minutes, which means it has a boon or bane on all its rolls. And decelerate is a sphere within a 3-yard radius centered on a point within medium range. So it's like a 15-foot radius thing within 25 feet. Each creature in the area must get a success on a will challenge roll or become slowed for 1 minute. While slowed, when the creature takes a slow turn, it can use an action or move, but not both.
Which is also not bad.
And that's where I think the, I mean, I'm not sure. Do you have a teleportation spell like for yourself yet?
Not really. That's something I was looking at last time.
Yeah.
Because remember I was, I have one that lets me trade places.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I was trying to trade places with, like, I have swap, where we change, like, you and the target teleport to exchange positions. An unwilling target can make a will challenge roll, negating the effects.
Right, so you need
I don't have any... Target. I mean, I guess my watch gives me 1 per day.
Yeah.
But this boundless step or whatever would give me a whole bunch of teleporting. I mean, I don't think he's very tough, and so staying out of danger might be the best thing he can do.
That's staying out of danger is never a bad thing.
Yeah, I think boundless step makes the most sense.
Okay. So what I'll do is I got the PDF open here. I can just cut and paste from.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah.
That into your thing. So here's teleportation.
I was thinking, Jeff, now that we've got a medium construct, the construct can be sort of like our support droid, and can carry sort of stuff.
Why don't we use the we'll use there's I actually got some rules for rolling up a construct.
Sure.
Let's do that.
That's cool. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
There's constantly, because they've been so prolific. I shouldn't say they. Rob Schwab has been so prolific with cranking out stuff. Like every Monday, there's a new Shadow Demon Lord product.
Nice.
It's only 3 pages or something like that, but it's still like they're all gold. There's never I've yet to think of one of them where I'm like, nah.
I can do this right now. I've got Forgeborn open. I can just go for it here.
Oh, give me a sec here. We'll do it all together so that we can go through it, because I think that'll be
fun.
That'll be
so
fun.
I should heal my characters up to full, right?
Yes, please. Yeah, restore everyone to full health, and then we'll take a look at your. I think your tokens may need to be updated in terms of their mana and their what do you call it? Their mana and their health. 3. Okay, great. Give me a second. I just need to quickly calculate your mana cost on this. Okay, so that's great. So Boundless Step is in your spellbook now. Nice. And what you've got for mana is actually pretty badass at this point. So one of the things as well, because of we're using the mana rules rather than the rules as written. Here's the way the wizard's spell expertise works. Is first off, you're going to double the number of power points you gain from your rank 0 spell. So I'll take care of that for you. But here's the other thing. In addition, you need to only spend 1 power point to cast a rank 1 spell. So now your cantrips and your rank 1 spells all cost 1.
Oh, and then wow.
Your nice. 2 will cost you 3. Your 3 will cost you 4. But that's crazy. You're going to have a huge fucking well of power points to draw from. Okay, so let's see here. 3 times 7 is 21. Times 2 is 42. Fucking hell. Level 1 is 4, so that's 8. Level 2 is 3, so it's 9. Level 3 is 2, so that's 8. All right, so that's 50. So, wow. Your current mana for Matt is 67.
Boom.
Whoa, what a jump.
Yeah.
Wait, does Millar's mana go up?
Yeah, she learned a new spell, right?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so let me do a quick audit for her as well. Did Hobie learn a new spell as well?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do.
Yes.
Let me do a quick audit for them. Okay, so it's level 0s, level 1, level 2, level 3.
One of the cool things about that Jack of all trades path,
yeah,
is if you see a 0 level cantrip cast, you can make some kind of a challenge and learn it until the day's over.
Wow.
Yeah, like you can, yeah. So with other spellcasters in the group, that's kind of cool too, because yeah, like if Millar has something that's really useful as a cantrip, and we want to cast it a bunch of times, Matt can also cast it.
Okay. Well,
it's called Magical Empathy. When you see a creature cast a rank 0 spell that you have not learned, you can spend 1 aptitude point to learn that spell, gaining a number of castings of the spell equal to your power. You retain knowledge of the spell until you complete a rest or expend all castings of it.
Well, Earth Spike, Jury Rig, Magic Wrench.
Yeah, like there's lots of ones we could really pile up if we need to. Or if you make Hobie a healer and he's got healing spells, Matt can watch him do a 0 level healing spell and then cast it 3 times.
That
will happen. Yes, next level.
So I figure that's cool. It helps him fill out our party a lot.
Yeah.
Like Trader has some 0 level spells, so
that's a good one. Yeah.
Although I don't see Matt using Wild Beast Shape or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Although it's kind of cool actually that if he did Beast Within.
Steve, Millar's mana is 48 now.
Excellent.
So you can adjust that in her character sheet and then on her token. And I'm looking at the wrong guy. Not surprisingly, Junis has very few spells.
No spells.
Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's see here.
I actually think that's kind of funny if Matt cast Beast Within.
Yes. We'll give him a claw.
Yeah.
Hobie changed Will-O-Wisp to Thimble Rig.
It's a Thimble Rig?
Yes, an illusion spell that casts 4 doubles of me. That can get hit on a certain kind of roll and then disappear.
Okay. He's got no 2nd level spells anymore, right?
Yeah, and there's reasons for that because of his Warden.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay. He's splitting focus. Okay. That makes sense. Let's see here. What's his power right now? Is it 3?
It's 3, yes.
3 as well? Okay.
Yeah.
Just you calculate to your mana based on that.
Got it.
In part based on that, I should say. 22, 30. Oh, so his mana is 30, 3-0.
Excellent.
Okay.
Feeling good. I like this game. You do feel quite a bit tougher in this game when you level up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Feel you are. I'm not saying you really are.
Yeah. It's good as well to update your or to review what your abilities actually are too. Like it's a good sort of touchstone for that.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do as well, guys, is because this is things are gonna be getting more challenging going forward here. And I'm assuming we're not going to run this as written, which can be quite lethal. One of the ways to mitigate that is we're going to use some optional rules for fortune points out of Forbidden Rules. And what I'm going to have you guys do is Instead of you guys having fortune or not, you're going to start with a group pool of fortune equal to 1d3 plus 3 at the start of each adventure. So we'll do that now. And well, the rules is written say keep it a secret from you, but I'm not going to do that. I don't really care. What you can do it for is you can take, in addition to what you can normally use your fortune points for out of the book, you can also take another turn during the round. You can heal damage equal to twice your healing rate. And you can turn any creature's failure into a success or any creature's success into a failure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's pretty powerful. And then if I award fortune, I put it in the pool otherwise. So what this means as well, guys, is that I'm going to assume that you're going to be aware of that resource and use it, and the gloves are coming off with the rest of the rules.
Awesome.
So what's it called again, sorry?
It's called fortune. It's just giving me a fortune point. It's alternate rules for using fortune points. So why don't we roll, someone roll 1d3, and we'll see what we're at for this adventure.
You got it open? I can do it. One, oh, they don't have D3.
You just have to type roll d3.
Is it slash roll?
Yeah.
Ah!
Okay, so you got 4 fortune. All right.
All right.
And let me change the
Noise.
font and color and whatnot on that to make one. Let's see here.
Are we going to do some downtime role playing about all the stuff Steve wants to buy?
Not necessarily, but we're going to fill in that stuff as narrative.
Okay.
So there we go. I don't like that.
The money that wasn't spent as part of the group thing, other than maybe a few like incidental things, Matt is keeping traders and his money, and they are going to be living a much more comfortable day-to-day lifestyle. Okay,
you're gonna buy up your lifestyle. Okay, so let's sort of fill in the what's happened since you discovered that elf in the tower. We'll fill it in as just sort of like general narrative. What is Steve? What are your guys' mana again? Your mana is now Hobie's
for Hobie.
30 for Hobie, okay.
And 48 for Millar.
And is Hobie's health now 37?
It is now. Hold on here. Health is. I thought, didn't it go up to 41?
For Hobie? I don't know.
I thought it did. Why? No, I think 30 because you changed it. 37. I thought it went to 41.
Eunice went up to 41.
Okay, yeah, sorry. No, that's right.
Okay.
37.
So I'm just gonna update his health bars.
Yeah,
so those health bars are updated. And what is Millar's health now?
21.
21. And what's her mana? I said 48, right?
48.
Right. So her mana bars and everything are updated. Matt's all updated. Good. Trader's updated, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, great. All right. So what was your plan of, like, we don't need to go through the role playing the actual scenes and whatnot, but how do you think you got, first off, the elf that you found at the top of that? You may remember that he said something about, is it time to recover the weapons in Elvish? He was really emaciated and scarred, and he had that flowing long feathers for his hair, and he was using the feathers from his plucked from his scalp to dab into his wrist, his bloodied wrist, and then to draw on the walls. But he didn't seem to die. You've learned since that his name is Bitterbark.
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 So what do you guys do with Bitterbark? He's obviously seems quite damaged. He's quite mad. But what was your plan? So were you planning on staying with him in the moon tower, or taking him out, or what?
Like, is he a prisoner here, or is he want to be here?
He seems to think that because you guys have come in, that that's why he was asking, is it time to recover the weapons?
Yes, it is time to recover the weapons.
Indeed.
He claps to himself. He's very, very pleased by that. He constantly mutters to himself. He seems constantly distracted. He's sort of twitching around and starting at things that aren't actually there.
Okay.
So,
are you going to take us to the weapons?
The getting any kind of coherent answer out of him is going to take some trying.
Okay.
He's quite.
Is he gathering his things? Does he seem to be preparing to leave with that?
Yeah, he'll grab his stuff as well, and he doesn't really have much of anything apart from that. There's a cot in here, and that's really it. And there's the scrawling, the walls themselves. Remember, it's that same white, flat sort of like marble that the rest of the tower is built out of. It's just covered in his writings. Okay, hold on here.
Well, Matt will take the time to try and read some of it while he's gathering his pitiful belongings.
Sure. I'm going to ask you to roll a. I think it'll be an occult roll, and I'm going to give you 2 banes on it, just because he's writing over everything that's on there.
So that's intellect I use?
It would be, yes, and then you would get a boon because of your profession. So it'll be.
So it ends up being 1 bane?
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Here's what I think that you're going to gain 1 insanity, and I'll tell you why. So what?
Wait, Kev.
Yep.
When is it really bad?
When it is higher than your will.
Oh, okay.
What is his insanity at right now?
5. Matt is quite insane.
Yeah, he's had a series of rough experiences. What you notice, you're looking at these things and trying to make out some kind of some of the shapes and whatnot as he's getting ready. I think Millar is Millar and Trader are the 2 other ones who speak English, who speak Elvish. What you get out of him, or what you're looking at, is there's rough shapes that may have been forms, but they've been drawn over, and it's all in this really thin, sketched, dried blood. And you see that in one corner of the, not one corner, but one sort of section of the room, of the wall. You're looking at it and you think that it's sort of like one of those hidden eye paintings, and you're staring at this thing and trying to find some sort of form in what's lost in there. And what you see sort of coalesces as if it's been, looking at you, or been standing before you the whole time. But it is this titanic humanoid form with massive sweeping horns rising up from a thick, squat head on a thickly muscled neck and wreathed in flames. And Matt knows what this is, because that is the being that burned your world.
Oh, God.
You sort of stagger back, and then you sort of, as you blink, you've lost it. You can't see it there. And you can't see the form.
He's just sweating now.
Yeah. Like totally white, lost his
Takes a kerchief out of his pocket and he's drying his forehead and he's pushing his wet hair back.
You know this thing's name as well.
He says it out loud. Or would he not say it out loud? Is it like cursed?
No, it's not necessarily cursed, but I mean, like, you fled. I love that. So yes, you say his name out loud, and I'll let you. I can't remember how to whisper here.
Oh, shoot. It is like /W, and then my name, and then the message.
Okay.
I think Jeff or Matt or Trader works.
Oh, okay. Let's see here.
Oh, everyone can see it, but
Yeah, I don't know how to. I should really look this up between sessions, but I think I say that every time. Steve, just don't look at the chat for a second here.
All right.
everybody at home can read.
Go ahead. Say that in as ominous a way as you can there, Jeff.
Yeah. Diabolus?
So as soon as he says that out loud, Millar, what do you do?
Can I look now?
Well, what's just happened is just Matt has just said Diabolus's name out loud.
Oh, yes, right. Millar sort of like her skin turns ashen and her blood runs cold, but she tries not to let anything slip.
Okay. You know what? That's awesome. Why don't we make a will check for me, please? And I'll give you a fortune point for that because that's fucking cool.
All righty.
Well, does she look where Matt was looking?
I think it's just she's not looking, but she's heard.
No, I'm asking Steve if she would look exactly where Matt had been looking at the wall.
I'm not sure. Well, you haven't lost your composure. You've given no indication that that your heart has stopped.
Nice. Yes.
And I don't know if she's like, I'll leave it up to you guys to sort of set the scene for this, but I'm picturing it being like she's maybe like helping this guy get cleaned up, and then she hears his name out loud and kind of like, and tries not to react.
Yes, would have dropped a little bit.
What does Millar do then? She's heard Matt say that. What does she want to do?
She just sort of freezes and she doesn's look at anybody, and she's just going to listen. She doesn't want to turn around.
Matt starts frantically looking around the room for any kind of water or liquid of any type on himself, and he's asking the other characters if they have any bottles of water, like any water skins or any water.
I think you guys probably do, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe Hobie or someone hands him a water, and he goes over the wall and he starts splashing it on the wall to wash away where he saw Diabolus.
Okay. So you go over there and you start doing that, and then Bitterbark sort of like turns, no, and goes running over towards you, and is going to try and let's see here, he's going to try and shove you. Oh, so he grabs you and throws you back, and you kind of sprawl on the ground, and your water skin falls to the ground and starts pouring out, and he says, no.
Matt turns and looks at him. He says, "Who are you?"
And he sort of starts twitching, and no one, bad, Bitterbark, bad.
Matt stands up and he grabs him by the shoulders and he shakes him. What do you know about Diabolus?
Okay. Millar, what do you say?
Millar turns around and says, "We should leave this place."
Okay. What he says is the pact.
You have a pact with this demon?
No demon. Devil.
You have a pact with the devil.
Not me. We.
Elves? Is he an elf cat?
He's an elf, yeah.
The elves made a pact with the devil.
I don't think he's going to reveal anything else at this point. He's sort of right now sobbing.
Sobbing?
Matt pulls out his revolver and and he points it at this elf.
Yeah.
And he says, if you betray us to that devil, I will end you.
Okay. He's on now, collapses to his knees, and he's covering his head and weeping. And he's sort of like, no, no, no. And he's trying to push the gun away. But every time he touches the handle, he jerks his hand back as it burns because of the iron.
Okay. Matt doesn't actually execute him. But
I guess it's not, it's not iron, it's steel. You wouldn't have a gun made out of iron.
Right.
So, so he's able to sort of like bat it aside roughly, but yeah. Then Bitterbark sort of...
And walks away from him at this point.
What was that, Jeff?
Matt just turns and walks away from him. He looks at Judas and he says, you're in charge of the elf.
I'm in charge of the elf. Judas just nods quietly in assent.
Okay. So when Bitterbark sort of gets to his feet, he says, he kind of grabs like his blankets and sort of like, gets ready to go. And then he stops suddenly and he says, the guard.
The guard?
The guard. You may remember from last session, there was that giant fire-breathing dog that you guys skirmished with.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Did he run away in the end? The dog?
Yes. He seemed to leap through some sort of, he leapt into the air and then like disappeared as if he hit some kind of invisible portal or door or something.
Well, Matt and Trader are like leaving or whatever. They're not paying attention to this guy anymore. So I don't know if Junis wants to respond to that.
Where do we want to go here?
Well, we're trying to get back out of the tower now.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to calm this Bitterbark about the guard or not.
The Bitterbark then sort of stops and turns around and says, no, oh, no, 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 no. And he points at this chest. Underneath his blankets, when he pulls it back, you can see at the end of his bed, there was a chest.
Better have a look.
So Junis goes over to take a look.
The chest is locked. But it is, I mean, it's like a steamer trunk kind of thing. You could probably carry it with you if you wanted to.
Okay. Junis turns to Bitterbark and says, keys?
He shakes his head.
Okay, Junis is going to try opening it.
Okay. Does he have any kind of training whatsoever in like with any kind of burglary or anything like that, any kind of profession?
No, Hobie has spy.
Trader may be a better choice for something like that, just because he can use his what is it? His cunning. You can add a boon to a skill check twice per round.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So,
like that's his. I can't remember what it's called, Rogue's Cunning or something like that.
Yeah.
That can be added to an attack or a skill roll. That's sort of how rogues are. That's why they're kind of the skill monkeys in Shadow of the Demon Lord.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I see that.
Hmm.
Okay, so he'll come over if Trader takes off of Matt, who's now leaning against the portal to leave, like waiting by it.
Yeah.
And Trader flies over and shape changes.
Okay, so here's the downside. The lock, once you get close, you can sense that the lock itself is made out of cold iron. So I'm going to be imposing one bane on the roll for that, and then just the quality of the lock is going to be another, I think another 2 banes.
Ooh.
It'll just be a challenge roll, so it's just a 10 you need for it, but it's 3 net banes, and then you get 1. Does Trader have any professions that may assist with this?
Getting real.
Well, wait. Any like?
Yeah, if any of his professions may help, can't recall what his professions are.
Urchin. What's an urchin?
Urchin is like a street kid.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe, sure. I think that it depends what kind of a street kid he was.
Yeah, I think like for things like begging or sneaking or stuff like that, I think, but I don't think that picking locks is necessarily in the urchin kind of skill set.
Right.
Because like urchin is sort of like I think of like Oliver Twist, you know, and like Fagin's gang, like kids, or like the Baker Street Irregulars, you know, kids going around sneaking and spying on things and shadowing and like, you know, squeezing into small places. I'm not sure that lock picking is necessarily one of the things that fits in that.
Okay.
But you will be getting a boon from your bonus, and it's going to be an agility challenge otherwise. So I think your agility is pretty badass. So if you happen to be rolling with 2 Banes, it's not necessarily going to be the end of the world.
Right. Okay. So just a trainer and roll agility -2.
Yes, please.
Oh my good lord.
Ooh, well, I mean, yes, that's 2 pretty brutal Bane. Oh, and you roll a 6 on the Bane and a 3 on your D20. So,
oh my god, my characters have rolled so bad in the last 2 sessions.
Okay, so I think just
wait. I can spend a fortune point and re-roll that.
You can spend a fortune point and automatically succeed.
Oh,
that's the way fortune. Fortune's way is better than advantage. You just spend it and you get it. So if you want to do that, you can do that.
I'm gonna do something interesting. So, Trader does something that I don't think Junis or Millar or Hobie have ever seen, and he actually shape changes from his hybrid form into his goblin form.
Ooh.
And then he makes a second attempt at the lock, and he easily picks it. And
nice.
I spend a fortune point to do that.
Okay, so fortune's down to 4 now.
And as soon as he opens it, he doesn't even open the chest and look inside. He almost like he's embarrassed of his goblin form. He changes back into a raven and flies back to Matt's shoulder.
Okay, I'm giving you back the fortune that you spent as well, because that was really great. So, okay, so he's able to do that, and that's the first that you guys realize that it's not Matt's familiar, it's actually a goblin. So that may be a bit of like realization.
The plot thickens.
So, what you guys, we're going to roll through what you find in there in a moment. You find 5. Okay, Steve, I'm getting some bad feedback from you again, bud. I don't know what it is with your mic. Your mic just gets it gets really sensitive.
Like when you don't talk for a while, then it's like what whose mic did that all the time?
Brent's mic, I think, used to do that quite a bit. The level.
And so did
Nick's, I think, as well, right?
Nick. I'm trying to think of his name.
Nick's
mic was terrible.
Yeah, that his thing used to fuck up all over the place. Okay, so you know what? I should send him a copy. Speaking of which, I should send him a copy of this game, because I think that he would. This is a game that he would really eat up.
Yeah, totally. Looking at a game sometime.
Yeah, you know, like I was gonna. We had too many people for our Conan game. I was gonna invite him to my birthday thing, but it's like with 6 players, it would have been a little unwieldy. If I was doing something a little more streamlined, I would have totally asked him to come along, because I miss gaming with Nick.
Totally.
Okay, so what you find in there will roll out in a moment or so. But you guys said you're leaving, right? How are you planning on leaving here?
Well, we could use the teleport if you want. Mind you, I don't know how many if we've got of those.
What do you mean? Do you mean that snow globe thing you have?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those don't get used up. It's just that once per day you can use that.
Wow. Well, there you go. Well, if you want, we could just teleport home.
Where does it take us to?
Sorry?
He pulls up this little snow globe thing, and inside there is the distinct city of Crossings, complete with the 6 big white spires sticking up.
Oh, sweet. It takes us right back to Crossings?
Yep.
Oh, shit. Let's use that. Saves us the journey home as well.
Okay.
Good deal. Exactly.
So you guys
style.
Disappear and reappear in Crossings next to one of the big spires and kind of startle people. What we see also too, actually no, it would be nighttime when you disappear.
Terminator.
Yeah, this had to be the middle of the night to get into the tower.
Yeah, that's right. And what we see is
morning, if anything.
You guys vanish, and the scene kind of cuts to outside the tower, and we see your horses all sort of latched up outside of the stump, I think it was called, the tavern there. They all sort of like start moving back and forth uneasily, and then the white tower just sort of shimmers and vanishes. So we cut back to you guys. Now let's step outside of the moment-to-moment stuff, and we'll just do some narrative downtime. So in the next, what you're going to have is about, I think, 2 months of downtime between now and then. We're going to have some events that are happening between now and then, but what's happened is you guys have purchased, what size of place did you buy, Steve? Did you end up going with a place in like kind of a nice district or a somewhere else?
A little out of the way, like a little far away from the cities in case anything weirdness happens. We want to keep a low profile, but not too far away, along one of these sort of tributaries to the lake so that we can take our boat in there and then sort of get around.
Yeah.
Transport stuff around.
How about something like a minor nobles kind of hunting lodge or like fishing lodge?
Oh, gee, if we could afford that, then sure. Yeah, I was thinking something sort of nondescript, just with enough storage room and.
Yeah, it'll be a minor thing, but it'll be something that would be like defensible against the the threats that sort of lurk in the woods and whatnot. Because or in the surrounding area, because Shadow of the Demon Lord, like there's not really a lot of safety outside of the cities. So that sounds great. So what you've let's roll first off. Medium-sized construct you got, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so why don't you roll a D20 for me, Steve?
Oh, indeed. Oh, come on now. My game's giving me sass. All right, roll 20. All right, D20. Boom, 18.
Okay, so this was something that was purposefully crafted by mechanical engineering. Okay. So that was intentionally crafted. Now let's see here. Go ahead and roll a D6 for me.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thanks.
2. It is an animated object.
All right.
Okay. Now, so we know it is a medium. Go ahead and roll a D20 again.
D20. 2. It was like an animated dresser or something.
It's an animated bathtub.
What?
That's fantastic.
So you got
so
an
great.
Well, it can carry stuff, Steve. That's hilarious. It can carry a sport tub. Nice.
If you want to re-roll that, I will let you do that because that's
great.
Well, you know what? Like that
stuff
it was supposed to carry stuff. It was supposed to carry stuff.
Highly unlikely that's what you would want. So
I love it because it's like we went looking for like an animated chest or an animated dresser or something that could carry stuff. We couldn't find the right thing, but we found this bathtub and we're like, it'll work.
And you get what you get.
Okay, that sounds awesome. All right, so I will post between now and the next session. I will type up the stats for the animated bathtub.
Only if it gets a boon for swimming.
Kev, you should do a sketch of it too.
Yes, you totally will get a boon for swimming with this thing.
All
Yeah, no, it's definitely buoyant, and I think that the like it's I'm picturing sort of like a clawfoot tub.
Yeah.
But the claw feet are actually like webbed in between, so it's gonna like
Nice.
You can putt along next. So that's perfect.
Perfect.
That's
Excellent.
awesome.
Okay.
Little canoe
Now,
we can take with us when we're.
let's see this. Now let's find the spoils of Bitterbark's chest. So we're gonna do 5 magic items, and we're gonna randomly generate them as well because I really love that feature of the game.
Is that in the base book?
What's that, Steve? What's that?
Is that in this book?
It's in that one. Yeah. It's in the DM section. It is.
The rolling is so much fun. You got to say, like,
it really is. It's one of my favorite things about the like every magic item we randomly generated has had some interesting stuff in it. You know, it's had an interesting impact on the story. So, all right. So, if you're following along at home, I'm on page 208. So, Steve, why don't you give me I'm going to make a list here. There's 5 of them. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll start with you because you got 3 characters. Roll 1d20 for me.
Yes, sir. 16.
So 16. Okay, cool. Ooh, interesting. Okay, now roll d20 again.
20 is 16.
16. And sing second verse, same as the first, please, or third verse, I guess. Go ahead, Steve. Another d20.
Yeah, another d20.
Oh, sorry.
4.
4. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So what there is, the first thing you find, guys, is a cart. It's something that's sort of it's like a toy cart, and you realize that when you put it down, it sort of grows up into this large thing. And on the sides, there's all this intricate sort of carving of like home and hearth, and there's like a big, there's big baked goods, and there's a big like leg of beef on there, and there's big plump chickens that are painted on and whatnot. And what you come to realize afterwards is that for each hour you rest on this thing, you will gain or you'll heal 2d6 damage.
Wow.
Just a sweet cart.
Okay.
Cool. And is this a shrinking cart? Can we shrink it back down again?
Yes, you can.
Wow.
Yeah. At a word, it shrinks back down. You can store it.
Dang. Nice.
Okay. Jeff, why don't you roll 3d20 for me?
All right.
What the next thing is.
Place order. First 20.
Okay.
15.
15. Okay.
Okay. Some kind of accessory.
Next one is a 12. Table 3. And what does that do?
Thing. And numero uno.
Okay. All right. So what you find is a key. And the key is designed in this, it's a little bit of an oversized thing. And it's the kind of thing like you would, like a big, heavy, medieval type key, but it's really intricately designed. And it's made out of brass. It looks old, but not worn. Like for a key, you would expect to, as hard as metal gets, there's gonna be scratches and shit on the teeth on the key. There's none of that on here. And why don't you make an occult roll for me?
Okay.
Yeah, you'll get a boon because of training in occult.
This one. Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, I'm good.
Holy shit. Okay. You don't know where to use this, but you recognize that if you use a specific code word or command word on it, this thing will start singing. And if you can find a lock that it fits, it will bring you to the Goblin King's realm.
Whoa. Nice.
Okay.
The singing key to the Goblin realm.
Mm-hmm. Steve, you're up next. Give me 3 d20s, please.
Heck yeah. Ow. Give me 8.
Okay.
Give me 10.
Okay.
Give me an 8.
You're consistent.
I am. I like triangles.
Okay. So what you find, Steve, are a set of gloves. And these gloves seem to be made out of, I think, like very fine, like ermine fur. So they appear really glossy and whatnot. You get the sense that they're definitely waterproof. But with probing by Millar and by Matt, you realize that what these are is basically they are, I mean, I want to call them gloves of convenience, but that's, I don't know, you can maybe come up with a better word for it or better name. What you can do is by speaking a command word once per day, the gloves will transform into any other object that can be held in a hand worth 1 silver shilling or less.
So like if you needed an axe or a broom or a bucket, you could turn them into that.
Exactly.
Well, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. And Jeff, next up, can you give me 3 d20s, please?
Yep. Wait. Now I'm going to do this with Trader. Not that it matters. 6.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Interesting.
Ah!
Okay.
The higher the table, the better.
Next.
12.
Ooh, okay. So this is it's a coin, a copper coin, and on one side there is a boat floating on water. It's designed sort of like a rowboat type thing floating on water, and on the second side there is a duck, again floating on water. What this coin allows you to do is it's a coin of buoyancy. When you have this in your hand and you try and swim, you will get 1 boon on all swimming checks.
Sweet.
We should drag our opponents to the water when we can. We got lots of water bonuses.
Steve, give me 3 d20 rolls, please.
All right. And this is for whoever. I guess we'll throw Hobie in there. Let's go.
Yeah, we might want to like just
Yeah,
who's
getting what?
15, 3, 6.
Interesting. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah. So what this is, give me 1 second here. I want to find an appropriate reference here.
This one's bad.
You know what it is, Jeff?
Oh, you know what? I know exactly what it is. So what you pull, this last thing is actually, it's kept in a little leather pouch. And you open it up and then you go inside and you pull it. And there's like a leather thong that's sort of attached, like a strap that would be worn around the neck. And then when you finally pull out is this, it looks like it's carved out of first a piece of wood and then some kind of like deer or elk horn or some kind of horn. What it is it is a stylized replica of the queen, Titania's face. But unlike the horrifically sort of unnatural angles that you saw before, and the fierce sweeping horns that swept forward from her head, this has a much softer cast to it. In the way that sort of the fine line between like unearthly beauty and severe cruel features can kind of dance on a razor's edge. This is much more towards the soft and beautiful. The horns that are stylized to sweep from her head are much softer and seem less like a stag's horns and more like a doe's horns. This is an icon of the Fairy Queen. And what this mechanically will do is it will, if you present it, if it's brought within 1,000 yards of any demonic creature, it will negate their horrifying trait. So you want to make fear checks or whatever, and gain insanity and stuff like that.
Only 100 yards, but that's still huge.
What did I say? 1,000? 100
yards.
1,000,
but it's only 100.
Yeah.
But that's a big radius.
Yeah. It's just,
that's pretty cool, though, eh?
Yeah, it's super awesome because we're getting close to the end game, and we are gonna have to.
We're gonna need that.
Demons
I was looking at being an exorcist with Hobie. That's not a bad thing to have, but a healer is just pretty useful.
Yeah. Okay, so those are the items, guys. We've got that the restful cart. We've got the key to the Goblin King's realm. We've got the those handy gloves. We've got the buoyant coin, and we've got this icon of the Fairy Queen. Do you have any? Does anyone want to call dibs on any of those things?
Yes. Matt immediately, so they're all laid out on a table or wherever we're looking at them. Matt reaches over and he takes the key and he says to everyone at the table, maybe strange to some of them, he says, "The Goblin King has the keys to my car. I'm taking the key to his kingdom."
Nice. Okay. So go ahead and add that to his.
Singing key.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone really gets it.
Millar. Very good.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Millar tentatively reaches out and she reaches for the figurine and she looks around to see if anyone objects to her grabbing the figurine.
What's a figurine?
Fine. Queen Titania.
Would Millar please make a will challenge, please, with 2 Banes?
Oh, you're talking about the demon thing?
She's reaching for the for the what do you call it? The icon of the Fairy Queen. We'll see how she does.
Okay, so she's good. Okay, so it's will 2 Banes.
Yes, please.
That's 2. That's what I typed, right? Okay.
Hey, nice. Okay, so as she reaches towards it, she gets the same sensation as if she was grabbing or approaching to grab cold iron with her bare hand. She's got the will though, so she can power through and grab that if you like, but it's going to burn her hand, or it's going to feel like it is at least through her glove, as if she.
Well, then, she stops. And she wasn't expecting that, and she looks at her hand, and then she reaches for the gloves, and she takes those, and then she walks away.
Is she trying to hide that she changed her mind from anyone?
She's just changing her mind. The woman's right to change her mind.
Okay. So as you bring your hand away from the icon, you hear a deep, throaty in your ear. And then once again, you go pale and you have that cold sweat that hits you, but you grab the coin. Does Millar already have something that makes her buoyant, though? I feel like we've got.
Oh, yeah, the gloves.
The gloves.
Yeah. She already got those gloves. So I'm sorry, she's grabbing the witch instead. The gloves.
Yeah, the gloves that can turn into
gloves. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds great. Okay, so then we got the buoyant coin, the restful cart, and the what's the other thing? And the icon left. Who's taking the icon?
Well, Trader looks at his wings, and he looks at the cart, and he laughs. And he looks at the coin, and he laughs. And he looks at the icon, and I'm assuming that he feels the same iron problems with touching that thing.
Not at all. Nope, not at all.
Oh, okay.
No, and actually, you know what? Like this, seeing her like that, because remember, it's the Steve's characters don't know this, but it's the Goblin King who cursed him, not the Goblin Queen, or right. the what do you call it? The Fairy Queen, I should say. So, yeah.
Well, it's the only thing that Trader wants, I guess. So I don't know if Steve, if you have a character who really wants it. If they do, then Trader won't take any of them.
It's okay. I mean, like, doesn't really matter who take. We can throw the cart in the bathtub. We have a, you know what I'm saying?
Right, like the cart is almost like a party item anyway.
Yeah, I think the cart is something that you guys can just all share. Likely, if you need to travel somewhere by cart, then
like I think one of our tanks should wear the demon shadow thing.
So that's not a bad idea. You know, maybe like
then he can have it, but if not, Trader will take it.
Well, let's see here. Wait, because it kind of works. Whoever's got it, right?
Yeah, like whoever's wearing it. It's
the party in general.
Range is 100 yards, so that's huge.
Go ahead.
I mean, I don't know if maybe Junis wants the coin.
Junis already has a coin of water walking. So,
that's awesome.
What's his face? Hobie can take the coin of buoyancy.
Because if you want that, if you really want that, Steve, you can have it. And Trader will take the coin, but he'll just give it to Matt.
Right. That's cool. We're all sharing it anyways. That's all right. Doesn't really make a difference, I don't think.
No, like Trader he's not going to ride in a cart and he's not going to swim.
Right. That's fine. And we'll use the cart for sure. I mean, Hobie could take or Junis could take the cart. Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, Hobie makes some, like you said, you want to make him a healer. Well, it's kind of a healing cart.
It is a healing cart. Yeah, you're right. It just he can take them both then. Sure, yeah, he'll take them both, and then Junis doesn't need either one of them. Fine.
Junis and Trader both just kind of walk away from the stuff.
Exactly. You're like, yeah, whatever.
If Hobie reaches for the amulet or whatever, or the thing, then Trader doesn't really care.
One point of clarification too: the cart the healing thing will only function when there's an actual there's a team of horses, like 2 horses attached to it.
Ah, okay, good to know.
Oh, like you can't sleep overnight.
Yeah, well, you could stay in as long as there's horses attached, but it can't be like you create it, sit it down, and then hop in the back of the cart.
Right.
Okay. Well, because
it's a cart for an hour.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. So now, what do you guys plan on doing with the time between? Anyway, like what is sort of the next couple of months filled up with? What do you see you guys doing in Crossing?
Well, we have a lot of. Hobie likes the idea of actually making. I mean, he's maybe a revenant, but he always liked the idea of making a little spare coin on the side. And Junis too. I mean, they're both sort of scavengers by nature, so maybe trying to sell some of the stuff that they got. And
there is sort of a pressing concern with what's going on with the Fae as well, right? Like that's what you've been hired for.
Right.
If you're choosing to quit working for Master Dream,
right?
That's fine, but I mean that is sort of what he's paying you for.
Right. No. Yeah. Just moonlight, just setting up our retirement plan. That's all.
You're fine to do that, Steve. I'm not. I don't want to tell you what to do with your characters, but that I mean that's what you've been working for so far. If what you decided is to, pursue other avenues, or just do that so that Matt and Lar and Trader maybe can do research, then
full speed ahead.
Okay.
Full speed ahead.
We all probably have to do the same thing though. Like that's what kept saying. Like maybe Millar and Trader and Matt are studying. And Junis and Hobie are setting this stuff up.
Well, Junis has to make a few adjustments to his body.
Yep. So Millar can work.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, so that's what's happening. Is actually we'll say at the lodge as well. There's a little crafting shop as well set up, so that Millar can tinker away, and that's over the course of the last couple of. What do you call it? I'm okay. So I'm of two minds. I know we were making there's rules for making like engineering rolls to try and modify. I'm trying to find one thing I've been thinking about a lot lately is when we make rolls that don't have any effect on really this, like that don't help the story one way or the other. And I'm thinking it's sort of like our part of it was because of our Star Wars campaign. I was thinking about the crafting rules because like there are rules for that, and I understand the reason for having them is to sort of balance so that crazy powerful things don't automatically go out. But what's the fun part of the story that comes from failing?
Right, just cost more money.
Well, then that's just it's just a resource drain, which means that it's just like it's randomly rolling to see if you lose money. So I'm not sure that I'm going to require you to make those rolls because I don't think it's interesting. I don't think there's anything interesting that comes from it. So you're just going to.
And it's so different than the real. Like that is like one of the most far removed from reality aspects of gaming.
Yeah, and like there's one of the example that always stands out for me is it's from our, and this is a pre-written encounter. This isn't Brent's fault, but when he ran. Pathfinder, there's an encounter where you have to do a bunch of tests to get across this log, and there's like a monster in the water below, and it just means that like with the odds being what there are, someone's going to fall down and fall in that water, and someone's going to be attacked by that monster, and then the encounter is going to happen. That's such a shitty way to set up an encounter. Just be like, well, like if you're going to, there's no agency that's being expressed there. It's just penalizing the players for the vagaries of luck.
Right, but I guess my point is even if it's a magical item, let's just say it's a cloak of invisibility. Either cloaks of invisibility exist in your world or they don't. They don't need to be random number. Do you get one or not? Like either you can go, you really want one and you go out and get it, or you don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. If as a DM you're like that magic item's overpowered, well, whatever. There's only 6 in the whole world, and they're all owned by kings.
Yeah,
you know, like there's, you know what I mean? Like it's up to the DM, I think, a little there.
Yeah, I think there's more interesting ways of managing that. If your problem is proliferation of this stuff, and you can control how much money you give people, right?
Right. Rather than roll a dice to see if you craft invisible cloak.
Yeah, I'm not going to require you to make those rolls. I think we did make those rolls initially, Steve, but I just because I've been dwelling on like, when is it necessary to bring the dice in? I'm trying to get away from the habit of making you guys make rolls for shit that doesn't meaningfully change either with both success or with failure.
Sure. Yeah, the only purpose is to serve the economy, whatever it is, and then
Yeah, so like I know, like it seems like that just is like really what we're doing then is we're just randomly rolling to see how much money you lose. Which
exactly. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, like
good boss.
Like haha, I get money, but now you lose it.
Kevin, another way to look at it is like if this is something Millar's doing to Junis, and it's because she has the skill to do it. Like it's like if you were a furniture maker. Well, of course you're going to be able to make a chair if you're trying to make a chair. And the difference between that and then using the skill in combat is like, can you make a chair while someone's trying to kill you?
Yeah.
That's why it's harder to use a skill in initiative rounds than like sitting in your house making a chair.
Yeah, no, and I agree. But in that case, that's where there is the interesting.
The interesting dice roll. Like, okay, now you got to do something to Tunis mid-combat. Well, make a roll if you can do it quickly.
Yeah, and that's where I think that's where there is something interesting, because but if you're, and I mean, crafting a chair or something is not the same, but if it's like we had in one of our old 4E games, this interesting encounter where like the guys were fighting this dragon, and there's this big chamber, and there's this dragon that was swooping down and attacking them and pushing them around. But then there was also all these like glowing orb things that were moving around at a sort of a regimented rate. So it was like an orrery, like a magical orrery with all these like planets and shit moving around. And every time the guys got hit by one of them, they would have a different effect on them. So while that fight was going on, the thief kind of guy, or the artificer guy, he sort of ran over to where the control mechanism was, and he was trying to fuck around with it to get it, to stop. So that, I think, was a good use of it, because he succeeds, and that changes the encounter, or he fails, and they have to keep dealing with this persisting, event.
Right. Whereas if it was downtime and he was studying this thing, it's silly to keep making rolls to be like, can you figure out how it works?
Yeah, because it's just going to happen at some point. So you're just rolling dice for no reason.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah. So see, that's one of the things that happens in the time is Millar crafts, and I imagine that does take quite a bit of time, because it's fairly complex mechanisms, and then
Can you briefly describe what she's doing to him and what the effects are?
Yeah, Steve, tell us what kind of modifications she's made to Junis.
You betcha. So this time around, so he's already got agility enhancements. So he gets boons, and then he got a little extra defense. And now he's going to get a few other things. He's going to get a lightning lamp attachment that gives us a torch whenever we need it. He's got an accelerator that allows accelerator where he can run twice as far in one round, although he stands a chance of shutting down. He's got a superior sense module, so he gets +2 perception. He's got a force amplifier, so that he gets a little more damage, but then also gets a boon on strength checks, which is going to be important when he's in execution. Then he's got a fire suppressor, so he can extinguish fires and possibly something else with that little device. Dark side lenses, so he can see a little bit in the dark. A sound dampener, so he gets a little boon on sound checks. And there you go. And then he's going to buy an alchemist apron and wear it as a cape, because it gives you +1 boon against corrosive checks, which may come in handy.
I think you can't wear it as a cape. You have to wear it as a regular, like an actual apron.
Yeah, it's well, it's got to cover them to stop the splashing of the corrosion.
Yeah.
Grab it and then use it like as a shield.
We could sort of fashion it into like more of a, like, make it look a little smarter, but it would still have to cover his actual mechanics.
Like a tunic. Sure, an alchemist tunic. Give him a little extra effect. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we could probably make it look a little cooler, but
28 gold, which will leave him with because I think we each have 80 gold. So Jeff, are you cool with selling that old piece of armor and then spending 20 gold each for all the stuff together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the armor was
so then 20
that my characters could use. So.
Okay. Well, so anyways, so each character spends 20 gold then, and then just for the house and all the stuff in it. And then so that leaves us each with about 80 gold, I think.
Okay. And you have, do you have a name in mind for the animated tub?
Do we have a name for Tubby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff,
what should we call the tub, Jeff?
I don't know, I'm just thinking about that. Are there any famous animated tubs or anything?
Well, there is one from is it Beauty and the Beast, I think?
Is there an animated tub in that? Well, I think there is, yeah.
I thought so.
I just don't. I've never watched the movie.
I think I've seen it, but it was like 20 years ago or however long ago that film came out.
Animated
Beatrice
tub. Like, seriously?
I was gonna call the construct Sparky until it was an animated tub, but
Oh, I don't know. There's pictures of the beast sitting in a tub. I don't know if it's animated. That one would be a little creepy, wouldn't it?
It would be extraordinarily creepy.
Because aren't the like animated objects like the actual servants of the castle?
You know what? I'm going to change one thing,
Yeah.
Steve. If you want that, I forgot that Millar's an engineer. If you want the construct to be an actual like, a sort of like a crude version of Junus, I'm okay with that.
like a little support. There was I wanted nothing from it. I actually kind of like the tub, and we rolled it, and it's kind of funny.
Okay.
So
It's not funny. I kind of like it.
Okay. All right.
You can ride in it. You can store stuff in it. You can like
Yeah, exactly.
use it as an actual bathtub. You can mix. We
You
can
hide
mix
under it.
potions or stuff in there if we needed to.
you can trip people.
Yeah, we can put prisoners into it.
All right. Yeah. So we've got a little hideout. I like it with a little workshop. Perfect.
I personally find it hilarious.
Yeah. No, I agree.
What we'll do is we'll put out like a bunch of potions and stuff in there, and then like if people need a healing potion, they can like walk up to them and you can grab one, and then like that kind of thing, and also can carry a bag of charms, and those charms can be used as boons against curses and stuff like that, and fey magic. That's from the what's it called?
That'd be pretty helpful.
Yeah.
What does okay? So that's what Millar and Junus are spending some time getting transformed. What about Hobie, Matt, and Trader?
Now that he has seen Diabolus, Matt now believes that it is not the Fae that is the greatest danger here. It is actually being orchestrated by Diabolus, and he is here to destroy this world just like his own. And he is doing any research that he can into Diabolus.
Okay, you actually have an extensive amount. Next session, we're going to do a flashback scene that's going to actually fill in some of the details.
Okay, but he is like, he'll buy expensive books. He will do everything to, learn everything this kingdom knows about him.
Okay, so what you learn is let me get to my this of course is what Diabolus looks like. Whoop, where is he? There you go.
Oh wow, is Kev not spoiling? Is he always the villain in this game?
No, in Shadow Demon Lord, the Diabolus is not the Demon Lord.
That's what I wasn't sure of.
No, like the way it works is there is the Demon Lord who's sort of in the void and is having a baleful influence on the world. But what you can do is what the game suggests is you roll randomly 1 out of 20 options for how that is manifesting. And we did that on the first session, and then what it came up with was that it was the Wild Hunt was the one we came up with, which was that the Fae are being influenced by it. So like the next time we start a campaign in this, we'll roll randomly again, and it'll be a totally different campaign.
Right. So like the cover of this book could be another Demon Lord.
It could be. That's actually
the back, like the back there, the guy eating everything.
Yep.
Those are both
those
other
are
incarnations of him.
The Demon Lord himself is unfathomably powerful creature that lurks in the void and hopes to get through to reality and raise this reality much as the last one did. It's more of like a Cthulhuid, elder god kind of threat than what Diabolus is. Diabolus is just the Lord of Hell, but or Matt knows that Diabolus was the one who destroyed your world.
Right.
And we'll learn more about that in the next session. What you find is that, Diabolus is the Lord of Hell on Earth. URTH. It's the name of the world here. The devil takes souls and he burns them the sins and corruption out of them, to purify them so they can re-enter the sort of like the reincarnative cycle.
Yeah.
So that's where it's unclear what the origin of Diabolus is, where he came from, how he was set up, but it's hinted that that he is either contemporaries of the god, or a contemporary of the gods themselves, or possibly the fairy queen, or maybe he was a consort of the fairy queen, or he was a consort of one of the gods, or maybe they were all gods at some point. It's kind of unclear at this point. You're going to need to do more research into it.
Okay.
That's what you've gathered thus far. You also know that he exists in the, or he exists, his realm is hell. There are, so you know how the sort of the not the metaphysics, but I guess the spiritual realms function in this. There is hell where corrupt souls go, and there is the underworld where souls either purified of their corruption or just uncorrupt souls go, where they go to slowly have their memories drained in the underworld. And once their memories and identities are drained, then they re-enter into the reincarnative cycle. So hell is where the Diabolus and his princes and his devils and so forth live. And there is the realm of the underworld, and there are the hidden kingdoms as well. So it's unclear as well what relation Diabolus and the what do you call it? Diabolus and the fairies and whatnot have to. Yeah, I wouldn't look online because you're going to lose.
No, I was just trying to look at an image of him. Look at this. I'm on a t-shirt.
That's fucking awesome.
That's sweet.
Yeah, that's really
cool. I just wanted to look at a picture of him.
Oh, sure. Yeah, sorry. Just because if you do, like, there's, it's really only in the Exquisite Agony book, but there are spoilers that will affect the campaign in that.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't read about it. I just
no, I figured. Okay. So that's what you learn about Diabolus. You also know that somehow Diabolus is able to, if this is him, he's able to travel across the void to other worlds as well. Because, you know, he and his legions burned yours to ash.
Right.
So what about Trader and Hobie? What are they doing during this time?
He is trying to figure out what his purpose is with Rebel. He's doing a little praying, and he's working on his priestly skills.
Okay. You remember
a little bit.
He had that dream a while ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would maybe you might want to go back. I can't remember what session number it is, but it's one of the ones where it was just the two of us. You might want to go back and refresh your memory on that,
right.
Because that's probably what he's been dwelling on, is the symbolism from that dream.
Exactly. He sees that there are greater things afoot here, and that he's being called, and so he's thinking about it.
Yeah, and he certainly has. You know, Rebel seems to have some plan in mind for Hobie, or some purpose in mind for Hobie.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a scene planned for Millar for next session as well. So I think what we'll do with our remaining time is let's roll some, see what the downtime events are. Because I like those a lot in Conan, and I like them in this game too. So first off, why don't one of you guys roll me a d20, please?
Sorry, busy buying a t-shirt.
Oh, did you get the Diabolus one?
No, I was just joking, but
Oh, okay.
I might actually order it. It is pretty sweet.
It's pretty sweet. That illustration is fucking cool. I think I've got it as a handout. Do I? Yeah. There you go.
I got 11.
Oh.
I gotta stop holding up my stupid book. I've got this picture here for you guys.
So this is the app. Is that the same image that's on the shirt?
I think so, yeah, because it's him in his chair. I just cropped it.
Oh, you just cropped it a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, here, I'll boom.
Oh, yeah, and you just have it mirrored, actually, from what they have.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's badass.
Yeah.
I might actually order one of those shirts.
Super metal. Okay, so you rolled. Sorry, let me see here. A 13, eh?
Is each character rolling this?
No, just one. I just want to see what.
Oh, just Hobie's rolling. I just got to decide what color I would buy.
Okay, that's actually something we're going to deal with next session. It's a really neat encounter, but I'd rather deal with that when we got more time. So let's just do downtime now. We'll go. We'll start with Steve with one of his characters. Pick a guy, Steve.
Judas.
Okay, go ahead and roll 3d6 for me, please.
Mm-hmm. 3d6. Boom. Oops, hold on. Change the name. Judas. D6. 6, 1, and 5.
Roll them all together, Steve, not individually. But I can add that one up to the next character, so it's 12. Okay. Roll 3d6 again. Sweet. Okay. So you were going back to work again. I'm not sure if you're choosing to work as a laborer or maybe like through your what's the business you were hoping to sort of set up here?
We're obviously getting around, and we're gonna like find lots of stuff. We're killing lots of people, so I thought we might do a little bit of merchant stuff, maybe transportation. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think that you've got the time to do that.
Not right now. Yeah.
But yeah, it would have to be something that would be local. What you might be able to do is take advantage of Millar's skills and your location, near the shore. Maybe you've got a small little fishing thing going on.
Yeah. There's a fishing. He's a hunter and she's a so yeah, they can do some hunting and trapping. They're out close to nature and stuff. Okay. Get some food.
So, through those activities, Junis has earned. You earned enough to get to pay for your getting by lifestyle. So it doesn't cost if that's sort of the level of wealth you're happy with, then you get by with that.
Yeah.
Jeff, pick one of your characters and then roll 3d6 for me, please.
Okay. Trader is who I have up, so let's roll 3d6. 3, 6, roll.
Nice.
Oh, it's a high roll.
Okay, roll 1d20 for me, please.
D20.
Whoa. Awesome. Okay, so what has happened is you made a lifelong friend as a commoner who will accompany you on your adventures and help you.
Wow.
So the guy that because we wanted a commoner anyways.
What's that?
We wanted a commoner anyways. That was one of the things we were going to get, like a hireling. So maybe this is the guy.
Yeah. So who do you think Trader is really taken to?
Where would Trader meet someone?
The thing that sort of jumps to mind for me is like, someone who's feeding the birds in a public square or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I was thinking too.
Okay. So maybe there's like an old guy or something that or like a widow or something that feeds the birds somewhere.
Yeah, like he's an older guy, but he's not like really old.
Okay.
But yeah, he lost his wife. He sort of hangs out by himself. He feeds the birds. And Trader was just, flying around town doing stuff, and he noticed this guy, and he sort of befriended him, and then eventually he sort of led him and introduced him to Matt.
Okay.
And then after Matt was sort of able to explain to him who Trader was, like, he didn't want to just shape change in front of this guy, freak him out. So he got Matt to sort of explain it all, and then he was able to shape change and actually converse with him and get to know him.
Okay, cool. So this guy maybe the reason, if he's not that old, he lost his wife, and maybe in that incident he also suffered some kind of like debilitating injury. So he
can't work anymore.
Yeah. So maybe that's that you guys have brought him into your fold, and he's now working in your in assistance to you guys in some capacity.
Sounds good.
Okay. And I picture you guys he set up some kind of like bird bath or something outside as well too, where he continues on with what he enjoys doing.
Okay, sounds good to me.
So what do you think his name is?
Like, they have traditional type names, or they have?
Yeah, I think there are sample. Sorry, I think there are sample names in.
Yeah, I'll have to look up a sample name.
Yeah.
Names are the worst thing for me to invent.
Common names, page 12 of the core book. Let's take a look there. And then Steve, while he's doing that, why don't you go ahead and roll 3d6 for me, please, for your next character.
Right. Who are we gonna do here? Millar, let's do.
Okay.
Oh, 13.
Nice. Okay. Go ahead and roll d20 for me, please.
17.
Whoa, nice. Okay. Ooh. So you organized. Oh, actually, no, I like this better. Describe for me one item in your possession. Yeah, that would be in Millar's possession.
One item that would be in Millar's possession. Let's see.
Yeah.
She's got a few things. She has it's a pistol.
Okay. Go ahead and roll 1d20 for me twice.
Okay. About
Woof.
20 and 9.
Okay. So you're maybe outside at one point and you're practicing with your with your pistol, kind of like testing the mechanism or the pull or function of the thing. You're sort of in the woods near where you are. And because it seems like the reason I'm sort of like accounting that the reason you keep missing with it is because you think there's something mechanically wrong with it. And there's a time where you're sort of lining up and you're right near where the lake itself is, or the black water, and you're sort of aiming and looking down the sight on the end of your pistol, and then you hear from somewhere off to your left, Millar, and you look over and you see standing like you've seen before out on the surface of the lake is Diabolus. And you blink and he's gone, but you know he's here somehow. What do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah.
I bow respectfully and then sort of try to nonchalantly continue practicing.
Okay. So you bow and then you continue practicing, and what he says, you hear as if whispering in your ear, leaning in, his hot breath. And when I say hot, I mean like you feel it maybe like scorching you the side of your face. It's like pushing your cheek up against a roiling boiler. And he whispers, "A gift for you." And as you cock back the pistol, you see there's this flash of red energy from inside. And from now on, Steve, when you attack with your pistol, you can choose to roll a boon with it. If you roll a 6 on that boon, it doesn't use up the bullet. If you roll a 1 on the boon, though, you gain an insanity.
Wow. I gotta write this down. Okay, and then 1 on boon equals 1 insanity. Man,
Yeah, so
this guy gives you crazy deals. Yeah, well.
Okay, so now next up it'll be Matt. Why don't you give me a 3d6 roll?
Yep. Wait, I gotta change the name. Oh, I came off wrong. Boom. 9.
Okay.
And 20.
So 9, yeah, and then actually no, another 3d6 for me, please.
Oh.
Yeah, for that result. Okay. So unless Matt wants to pony up the money himself to bump up his lifestyle, he will have lived a poor lifestyle. That's not because he's neglected the work that he was doing to sort of help pay for himself. He will suffer the poor lifestyle, which means I think it's a minimal amount that you need to spend, like relatively speaking, for what you have right now. But if you're living the poor lifestyle, I think it's that you need to make a strength challenge or you lose one of your items because you like fall asleep in an alley somewhere.
Oh God.
Yeah, but so the difference is just basically 8 copper pennies, and you avoid that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you. Okay. And then last one for Hobie, would you kindly roll 3d6 for me?
Here we go. Meister. 12.
12. Roll 3d6 again for me, please.
9.
So he managed to, I'm not sure what Hobie does for a living, but he manages to sort of scrape by enough to sort of get by. So it doesn't cost you. You just live a right comfortable lifestyle. So one of the things that does happen as well that you notice, there are 3 other sort of scenes that I want to do next session. We'll do a flashback with Matt, and there's a scene with Millar that I'd like to do. And actually there's a couple other things as well. But what you're noticing is that and I think it's Millar who probably notices this because she's a fisherman, and that's sort of, it's one of the things you have to be aware of. The weather has been getting progressively stranger, to the point where it seems like weather patterns, spiraling corkscrew patterns of clouds seem to be regularly forming over crossing. You also find yourselves, I think you guys are in town. You guys can tell me who would have traveled back to town to maybe run some errands or something. Maybe Matt is in to go pick up a new tome that he's, purchased from some distant shop. And I think maybe Millar is in collecting goods or something. Trader's probably with Matt as well. Before I forget too, Matt or Jeff, do you have a name for the trader's new
Walter.
Walter?
Yeah.
I love it.
Nice.
Okay.
That's your friend?
So you're in town, and I think that like like I said, there's been just a very, very unusual series of weather patterns that have been hitting, and there's been no other particularly unusual events happening in crossings. But you guys are on your way to visiting Master Dreen, or maybe you're coming back from Master Dreen, so you're moving through Purse. For that, actually, I can move this over to the map quickly here so you guys can see. Voila. If you remember that Purse over, I'll get rid of your guys here because they're not updated. Purse is, of course, the rich, quarter. You're making your way back from Master Dreen's thing, sort of getting the last update or the last books that he's ordered in. When you hear this sound of, it sounds like wood splintering, and there's screams, and there are the sounds of crashing, windows breaking, beams being split, as well as this weird twisting, stretching sound. And you can hear it. It's about like one street over from where you guys are. What do you guys do?
Head over and see what's going on.
Okay. As you're running over, this is daylight at this point too. And you realize, so that you recognize this. It looks different during the daytime too, but you're actually heading towards the Catandramus Manor. Remember that place where there was that explosion and you guys made your way through and fought your way through to the basement, and there was that giant, or that fungal giant that was emitting spores out and whatnot. You're walking up, and as you're walking up, you're just sort of, your jaw drops as you're walking towards us, because you can see this from easily the far end of the street. As soon as you're able to get a clear angle, rising up from the shell of what remains of the Catandramus' manor is this enormous, beautiful, lush oak tree. This thing is so full and strong and healthy and vibrant looking. You would think this thing had stood there for 100 years. But the detritus that's been smashed around and is hidden in its eaves makes you realize that this thing must have grown out of the very house itself somehow. So you guys stand there agape looking at this thing. The crowd is slowly starting to form here, and it's just shocked. And I think that's where we're going to leave the session. So for those listening at home, thanks so much for joining us for, this is actually, guys, I think it's session 18 of this campaign.
Wow.
Yeah. So thanks so much for joining us for this, our ongoing Shadow of the Demon Lord campaign. We'll see you again next Wednesday. We hope you enjoyed, and we hope to see you again next time.